Part 1. Take immediate action. Imagine this. You're sitting at your desk, your to-do list staring you in the face. Hours slip by. The day fades into evening, and that one task, the one that could change everything, remains untouched. You tell yourself you'll get to it tomorrow. But tomorrow comes and goes and still nothing happens. Why? Because you're waiting for the perfect moment, the surge of motivation that never arrives. And here's the cold, hard truth. That moment doesn't exist. This is the first and most important habit that will transform your life forever. Take immediate action. It's the force that separates dreamers from doers, the hesitant from the unstoppable. Napoleon Hill wrote that action is the real measure of intelligence. Yet most people get stuck in a cycle of hesitation and doubt, telling themselves they'll act when they feel ready. But readiness is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort. Picture Thomas Edison working tirelessly to invent the electric light bulb. He didn't wait for a moment of perfect inspiration. He failed over 1,000 times, each failure a step closer to success. Imagine if he had waited for motivation or certainty. The world would still be in darkness. Edison didn't wait, he acted, and in action he found clarity, progress, and ultimately, victory. Most people think they need to feel confident before they take action. But the truth is, confidence is built through action, not before it. Think of a baby learning to walk. She doesn't stand there waiting for courage or self-belief. She stumbles, falls, and tries again. Each tiny step forward erases doubt and builds strength. That's how life works. Momentum is born from movement, not from planning or wishing. So why do we wait? Fear. The fear of failing, of looking foolish, of wasting our time. But let me ask you this. What's the cost of inaction? Every day you wait, opportunities slip through your fingers like sand. The person you could become remains just a possibility. Action, no matter how small, ignites progress. It fuels confidence, and it reveals doors you didn't even know existed. Imagine a man standing at the edge of a diving board, looking down at the water. His heart races. His mind screams all the reasons he shouldn't jump. But the longer he waits, the harder it becomes. Doubt grows, fear takes root. The only way to break that cycle is to jump now. Because once he leaps, he realizes the water wasn't as cold as he imagined, and the fear begins to fade. That's how life works. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most powerful. Think about that idea you've been holding on to, the business you want to start, the book you want to write, the conversation you need to have. How long have you been telling yourself someday? When I have more time, when I feel ready, when things slow down. Let me tell you something. Someday is a myth. There's only today, only now. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't smarter or luckier than you. They're just willing to act when others hesitate. Action doesn't have to be massive to make a difference. One small step, repeated consistently, can change everything. Edison didn't invent the light bulb in one grand gesture. He made countless experiments, each one revealing something new. That's the secret. Progress comes from action, not from perfection. A messy first step beats 1,000 perfect plans. Remember this, you cannot think your way into success. You must act your way into it. Every successful entrepreneur, artist, athlete, and leader you admire has one thing in common. They didn't wait. They started, often without a clear map, often with fear in their hearts. But they started, and that made all the difference. This is the habit that separates those who live their dreams from those who merely talk about them. Taking immediate action is the spark that lights the fire of transformation. It's the force that says, I will not be defined by hesitation or doubt. And the best part? Every action you take builds momentum. Each step forward reveals the next. Progress isn't found in endless contemplation, it's found in movement. So the next time you find yourself waiting for the right moment, remember, that moment is now. Because the longer you wait, the stronger fear grows. And the faster you act, the weaker fear becomes. The only way to find out what you're truly capable of is to start, even if it's messy, even if it's small. The first step will teach you more than a lifetime of planning. Take immediate action today. Start that project. Make that call. Write that first page. Because every moment you hesitate is a moment you'll never get back. And when you act, you join the ranks of those who don't just wish for success. They make it happen. Let this be the moment you choose to jump, to move, to become unstoppable. Because once you start, the possibilities are endless. And as you embrace this unstoppable habit of taking immediate action, you'll discover something incredible. You're stronger than you ever imagined. And now you're ready to unlock the next key to a transformed life, a discipline that will carry you through the storms and challenges ahead. Are you ready? Let's dive into it together. Part 2. Discipline, discipline. The very word can make some people cringe, as if it means pain, sacrifice, or something that takes the fun out of life. But what if I told you that discipline is the key that unlocks every door between where you are now and where you want to be? It's the bridge between dreams and results, between wishing and winning. Without it, even the greatest intentions wither and fade like neglected plants in a forgotten garden. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal, fired up with excitement, only to watch it fade away when motivation disappeared? That's because motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fleeting. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice. It's showing up, rain or shine, when your mind screams for comfort. Discipline is what makes champions out of ordinary people. Imagine a runner training for a marathon. She wakes up before the sun, laces up her shoes and runs, day after day, even when her legs ache and her bed calls her back. Does she feel motivated every morning? Of course not. But she knows that discipline is the price she pays to stand on that starting line, and know deep down that she's prepared. That's the secret. Discipline builds confidence like nothing else. Every time you honor a commitment to yourself, you strengthen the bond of trust within you. And trust is the foundation of greatness. Most people think discipline is about punishment or deprivation, but it's the opposite. It's a gift, a way of training yourself to win, even when the odds are against you. Discipline is the quiet voice that says, I promised myself I would do this, so I will. It's the reason some people rise at dawn to chase their goals, while others sleep in and wonder why their dreams never materialize. Discipline is a muscle. Like any muscle, it grows every time you use it. The first time you resist temptation, it feels like moving a mountain. The second time, it's a hill. The 100th time, it's a pebble. The more you train discipline, the less power your excuses hold over you. Let's bring it closer to home. Imagine waking up early to work on a passion project before your day job starts. The alarm buzzes in the dark, and your bed feels warm, safe, inviting. But you remember why you set that alarm. You're not just chasing a paycheck, you're building a life on your terms. So you swing your legs out of bed and start. That's discipline, and that single choice will set the tone for the rest of your day. Discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's choosing progress over perfection, effort over excuses. It's sticking to the plan when distractions are everywhere, when social media beckons, when your friends are out partying, when every fiber of your being wants to quit. Discipline is the voice that says, not today, I have a promise to keep. That's the voice that champions listen to. Discipline doesn't always feel good in the moment. It's the voice telling you to go to the gym when you'd rather sleep in. It's the hand that pulls you back to the work when you'd rather scroll through endless videos. But it's also the feeling of pride that swells in your chest when you look back and see how far you've come. It's knowing that you're stronger than your excuses. And here's something powerful. Discipline is contagious. When you practice it, you inspire others. You become a lighthouse for those who feel lost. Your consistency gives others permission to be consistent too. Imagine what happens when your discipline inspires someone else to take action. Imagine the ripple effect you create. So ask yourself right now, what would your life look like if you chose discipline over comfort every single day? How far could you go if you showed up for yourself the way you show up for others? The answer is waiting for you, just on the other side of that first disciplined action. And as you embrace discipline, you build the foundation for every other success habit to stand upon. Because here's the truth. Without discipline, motivation is a fleeting spark. But with discipline, even the smallest spark becomes an unstoppable fire. That's how you build the bridge from who you are today to who you're destined to become. And once you have that bridge, the next step is to build a mindset so powerful it becomes your armor against the storms of life. Part 3. Mindset. Your mind is the architect of your destiny. Every thought you nurture, every belief you hold, shapes the life you live. You may think that thoughts are harmless, invisible, fleeting, but they are the seeds that grow into actions, habits, and eventually your reality. And here's the most powerful truth of all. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. Imagine standing at the edge of a field. In your hand, a bag of seeds. Some are strong and healthy, ready to grow into towering trees. Others are weak and rotten, destined to wither before they even sprout. Every thought you think is a seed. Every time you choose to believe in yourself or doubt yourself, you're planting those seeds. And the field? That's your mind. Over time, whatever you plant takes root and grows. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," you create a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. But when you believe in your ability to overcome, you unlock hidden reserves of strength and resilience. Your mindset shapes your actions and dictates your results. It all begins with what you choose to believe. Let me tell you a story. A young man grows up in poverty, surrounded by negativity, told every day that he'll never amount to anything. But one day, he reads a single quote: "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." That quote lights a fire in him. He begins to speak to himself differently, see himself differently, and slowly, his world changes. Not because the world changed, but because he did. That man, Napoleon Hill himself, the author of Think and Grow Rich. His belief in the power of mindset didn't come from comfort, it came from struggle. And if he could rise above his circumstances through thought alone, imagine what you can do. A growth mindset sees potential in every situation. It doesn't view abilities as fixed, but as things that can be developed. Those who adopt this mindset are always improving, always evolving, and never satisfied with stagnation. They welcome challenges because they know that struggle leads to strength. Here's something else. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself. It's called neuroplasticity, and it means that your thoughts are not fixed. They're malleable. Every time you choose a positive thought over a negative one, you literally reshape your brain. You create new neural pathways that make optimism, confidence, and focus your default settings. You become what you repeatedly tell yourself. So why not tell yourself something extraordinary? Why not wake up each day and say, "I am powerful, I am capable, I am becoming the person I was meant to be"? Because once you do, your actions begin to align with that belief. And then the world begins to respond to the energy you bring. Your mindset isn't just your internal world, it becomes your external reality. But this inner shift must be nurtured. It requires fuel. And there's one emotion that will strengthen this mindset like nothing else: gratitude. And that's exactly where we're headed next. Part 4. Gratitude. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of purpose and possibility, feeling a deep sense of appreciation for the journey you're on. Even if that journey isn't perfect, gratitude isn't just a nice feeling, it's a magnet for abundance. Think of your mind as a radio tower, constantly broadcasting your beliefs and expectations. When you dwell on what's missing, you attract more scarcity. But when you tune your mind to gratitude, something remarkable happens. You begin to attract more of what you appreciate. Gratitude rewires the brain. Neuroscience proves that a regular gratitude practice activates regions in the brain associated with emotional regulation and long-term happiness. It literally makes you more optimistic, more resilient, and more empowered to act. When you choose gratitude, even in moments of adversity, you change your emotional state. You break the cycle of negativity, you open your mind to opportunity, and you strengthen your connection to what truly matters. Let me give you an example. A woman loses her job. She could collapse into despair, and at first she almost does. But instead of staying there, she begins writing down 3 things she's grateful for every morning. At first, they're simple. I have food. I'm healthy. I have a roof over my head. Then they grow deeper. She begins to see possibilities where she once saw problems. That mindset shift leads her to start a business she'd been putting off for years. 6 months later, she's thriving, not because her circumstances changed, but because her perspective did. Gratitude doesn't mean denying struggle. It means finding value in it. It means saying, "This pain is shaping me. This loss is teaching me. This moment is preparing me for something greater." When you practice gratitude, even for the smallest things, you unlock joy in places you never thought to look. Here's a challenge. For the next 7 days, every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Don't just think them, write them. Let them become real. And watch what happens. Watch how your energy shifts, how problems become puzzles, how fear becomes fuel, how life opens up. Because when you live from gratitude, you become magnetic. You radiate strength, peace, and presence, and others will feel it. And most importantly, you will feel it. But all of this, the action, the discipline, the mindset, the gratitude, only lasts if you commit to one final habit, one that keeps you growing, expanding, evolving. Let's go to the final piece, the one that will guarantee you never stop becoming more. Part 5. Lifelong Learning Plus. Final Message and CTA. Learning isn't just something that happens in a classroom. It's a way of life. A mindset that says, I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn. Growth doesn't happen automatically, it happens intentionally. The most successful people in the world are obsessive learners. They read, they listen, they question, they fail, and then ask, what did this teach me? They understand that every failure contains a gift, if you're humble enough to look for it. Let me tell you a secret. Every expert you admire once knew nothing. Every master was once a student. Every legend started at zero. What made them extraordinary wasn't talent. It was obsession, the hunger to learn, the fire to grow. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You need to be the most curious, the most committed to understanding, the most willing to evolve. Because when you learn, you grow, and when you grow, you lead. And when you lead, you lift others up with you. So now you know the 5. Take action. Build discipline. Choose powerful thoughts. Practice daily gratitude. Never stop learning. Because these aren't just habits, they're foundations. They're the core of who you become when no one's watching. And if you made it this far, it's because you're ready for more. So drop a comment below and tell me, which of these habits are you committing to today? If this message sparked something in you, subscribe now. This journey has just begun, and the next video is already waiting for you on the screen. Tap it now and let's go even further together.